Today's stock, we're going to go through ENPH. What does ENPH do? Solar on your home, solar system so that you can get off the grid essentially. Let's take a look at what just happened to this stock on earnings. And as you can see, huge down move, 15% down move here in the last quarter essentially. Let's zoom out, look at the last 5 years in ENPH. And what you see is something very interesting. Stock went from essentially under $50 all the way up here to $350. But what's interesting about this is that 2022 was a down move for the entire stock market. So when the stock market bottomed, actually ENPH topped out. Why is that true? Interest rates. So we started to raise interest rates at the end of 2022, essentially, and that changed the model for ENPH and hurt its revenue growth substantially. Let's go through the numbers to take a look at what actually happened here. So first, let's give ENPH its due props here. In 2018, revenues just 316 million, and then take a look at this growth. In 2019, 97% revenue growth. Then 24, 78, and 69% revenue growth. That $300 million in revenue became $2.3 billion in revenue. There are not a lot of companies out there that grow that quickly, which is why the market cap went just from $500 million all the way up to $36 billion essentially. Now let's take a look at what happened in the current years. Remember that $2.3 billion in revenue in 2022? Well, it held okay here into 2023 despite higher interest rates essentially. But then what happened? Revenue growth cratered here from 2.3 billion down to 1.2 billion dollars in revenue, only expecting 1.3 billion dollars in revenue here. Obviously that changes the value of the stock. Enterprise value went from 38 billion to 10 billion currently. Let's take a look at what happened in the quarter to disappoint ENPH investors. So usually we look at annuals here. Now we've broken it all the way down to the quarter. This quarter that they just reported, $380 million in revenue, and they guided next quarter to 360 to 400 million in revenue. Last time I checked, that is a midpoint of 380 million in revenue, which is exactly the same as their previous quarter, which is 0% growth quarter over quarter. ENPH investors are looking for growth to inflect positively. They didn't get it. It's why they sold this stock down and why the stock was down 15%. Every time ENPH has a miss in growth, you're going to lose growth investors essentially. However, take a look at where this stock is trading compared to where it was trading and where revenue growth could go to if interest rates go down substantially again. I think if you get 0% interest rates again, you're going to see folks who are building homes add these solar panels and these solar groupings on in a substantial fashion. I think growth will reaccelerate, but until we get that sort of zero interest rate or that 5% mortgage or below again, I think that ENPH is probably going to struggle, and we will need to see growth inflect despite the fact that rates are higher, which is really difficult for this company, at least seemingly so. That's it from us. Thanks for watching on ENPH. We appreciate it. Hit us with anything you're looking for. We'd love to do something for you, and hit those like buttons, and we appreciate everything you guys do.